The courtroom doors swing open, and within seconds, the entire room senses something is about to go terribly wrong. A middle-aged woman walks in with an air of irritation, not concern. Her clothes are wrinkled, her posture careless, her attention divided as she digs through her oversized purse, like she's standing in a grocery line instead of a court of law. But what truly sets the tone isn't her appearance. It's what she says less than a minute after stepping forward. "I don't owe anyone respect." The words hang in the air like a challenge, and in that exact moment, everything changes, because standing just a few feet away is Judge Judy, a woman who has spent over 2 decades handling the worst disputes, the most outrageous excuses, and the boldest personalities. But even she wasn't expecting what was about to unfold next. What follows is not just a case about property damage. It's a collision between entitlement and accountability. A moment where arrogance meets consequences, and by the time it's over, one person will leave the courtroom with more than just a financial penalty. They'll leave with their entire worldview shattered. It's a Tuesday afternoon in Manhattan. The courtroom is full, the atmosphere thick with anticipation. Regular spectators sit quietly, watching closely. Some of them have seen enough cases to recognize when something unusual is about to happen. Judge Judy sits at the bench, reviewing the case file. Her expression tightens slightly as she reads. Across the room, Bailiff Bird stands alert, arms folded, scanning the environment with practiced calm. "Collingwood versus Beltridge," he calls out. The plaintiff enters first. Harold Collingwood is 72 years old. He moves slowly but steadily, carrying himself with quiet pride. His clothes are simple but neat. His face is calm, though there's a weight behind his eyes that suggests something deeper, something personal. In his hands is a folder. Inside it, evidence of what was lost. Harold spent 37 years working as a postal employee. Before that, he served in Vietnam. He's lived in the same home for decades, and over those years he built something he loved, a garden. Not just plants in the ground, but a daily routine, a source of peace, a piece of himself. And then, 3 weeks ago, it was destroyed. Now the defendant enters, Karen Beltridge. The difference between them is immediate and striking. She walks in wearing flip-flops that echo against the floor. Her clothes look worn and careless. Her hair is tied loosely, strands falling out in every direction. She doesn't look at the judge. She doesn't acknowledge Harold. She barely even notices where she is. Instead, she continues searching through her bag as she approaches the defendant's table. The energy shifts. Judge Judy looks up. She studies Karen for just a moment, but that's all she needs. There's a lack of awareness, a lack of seriousness, a sense that this person doesn't believe the situation applies to her in the same way it would to others. "Good afternoon, Miss Beltridge," Judge Judy says evenly. "Step forward." Karen glances up briefly, then moves forward slowly, still distracted. No greeting, no respect. The gallery begins to murmur. "You are being sued by your neighbor, Mr. Collingwood," Judge Judy continues, "for $4,500 in damages related to the destruction of his garden. What is your response?" Karen exhales sharply, clearly annoyed. "This whole thing is ridiculous," she says. "He's been a problem since I moved in. His plants were growing into my space. I had every right to deal with it." Judge Judy leans forward slightly. "You had every right to destroy it." Karen shrugs. "They were just plants. Nothing special. Honestly, they looked terrible." A few people in the gallery react quietly, shocked by the dismissive tone. Harold lowers his eyes. Judge Judy opens the file and pulls out photographs. "These," she says, holding them up, "are not just plants. The images show rows of thriving vegetables, blooming flowers, neatly arranged herbs. A space clearly cared for with time and effort." Karen barely glances. "They attracted bees," she says flatly. "I'm allergic." Judge Judy's expression hardens. "So instead of speaking to him, you chose to destroy everything." Karen rolls her eyes. "I don't need to talk to him. He's just some old guy who spends all day in the dirt." That phrase lands heavily. The room goes still. Judge Judy closes the folder slowly. "This is not a casual conversation," she says. "This is a courtroom." Karen lets out a short laugh. "Okay, so what? You'll say I owe money, I'll pay it, and we're done." That's when Judge Judy stands up and the entire atmosphere shifts. "You think this is about writing a check?" she asks. Karen crosses her arms. "Isn't it?" Judge Judy steps forward slightly. "Play the video," she says. The monitors come to life. A quiet morning scene appears on screen. A peaceful garden, sunlight hitting the leaves. Then Karen enters the frame. She's holding garden tools, and without hesitation, she begins cutting. Plants fall. Stems snap. Fruit hits the ground. Her movements are deliberate, aggressive. She speaks loudly, her voice clear in the recording. "I'm tired of looking at this mess." She moves from one section to another, destroying everything in her path. Then Harold appears. He looks confused at first, then devastated. "Please stop," he says. "That's my garden." Karen turns toward him. "I don't care," she snaps. He tries again. "Can we talk about this?" And then she says it. "I don't owe you respect. I don't owe anyone respect." The video ends. Silence fills the room. Absolute silence. Judge Judy doesn't move. For a moment, no one does, then she speaks. "Did you say that?" Karen shifts slightly. "Yes." Judge Judy's eyes narrow. "You don't owe anyone respect." Karen stands her ground. "No." And just like that, the courtroom is no longer just hearing a case. It's witnessing a moment. A turning point, because what comes next will change everything. The silence lingers. But it's no longer calm. It's heavy, pressurized. Like the entire courtroom is waiting for something to break. Judge Judy stands still for a moment, her expression controlled, but her eyes sharp with intensity. "You don't owe anyone respect," she repeats slowly. Karen lifts her chin slightly. "I said what I said." There's no hesitation in her voice now, no uncertainty. If anything, she sounds more convinced than before. "I work for everything I have," she continues. "No one helped me. I don't have to respect people just because they expect it." A few people in the gallery shake their heads. Judge Judy raises her hand. "That's enough." Her voice cuts cleanly through the room. "You're confusing respect with submission," she says. "No one is asking you to bow down. No one is asking you to admire him. But there is a baseline, basic decency, and you crossed that line the moment you chose destruction over communication." Karen's face tightens. "He was bothering me," she says defensively. "His wind chimes, his bees. He parks in front of my house. On a public street." Judge Judy interrupts. Karen pauses, but only briefly. It's still annoying. Judge Judy takes a step forward. "So annoyance gives you the right to destroy property." Karen hesitates. "He judged me," she says finally. Judge Judy's expression shifts, not softer, but more focused. "How? The way he looks at me," Karen replies. "Like I don't belong." There's a pause. Then Judge Judy responds quietly. "Or maybe he looks at you the way everyone in this room is looking at you right now." Karen's confidence wavers, but doesn't collapse. Judge Judy returns to the bench, but remains standing. "I'm going to give you one opportunity," she says. "Apologize." The word hangs in the air. Karen looks toward Harold for the first time. He doesn't speak. He doesn't react. He simply waits. And Karen shakes her head. "No." A wave of disbelief moves through the room. Judge Judy nods once. "Then we proceed." She begins listing the damages. Tomato plants, 6 months of growth, $1,200. Karen opens her mouth. "Don't interrupt." She closes it. Rose bushes, 15 years old, $1,500. The numbers continue. Herb garden, shared with the community, $800. Karen's posture stiffens. Emotional distress, $1,000. Judge Judy looks directly at her. Total, $4,500. Karen exhales sharply. This is insane. Judge Judy doesn't react. "I'm not finished." The room leans in. "You will also complete 50 hours of community service at a senior center." Karen's eyes widen. "No." "You have a choice," Judge Judy replies calmly. "Complete or face additional legal consequences." Karen shakes her head. You can't tell me how to live. Judge Judy meets her gaze. I just did. There's no anger in her voice now, only certainty. Because your behavior has consequences. Not just legally, but socially, personally, permanently. Karen's eyes begin to fill with tears, but they're not soft tears. They're sharp. Frustrated. This isn't fair, she says. Judge Judy responds immediately. Fair is not the issue. Responsibility is. She leans forward slightly. You destroyed something that didn't belong to you. You dismissed a person who did nothing to harm you. And you stood here and told this court that respect is optional. Karen looks down. For the first time, she has no response. Judge Judy pauses, then says, You will apologize. Karen doesn't move. Or the judgment increases. The tension snaps tight. Judge Judy begins counting. 5. Karen's breathing quickens. 4. She clenches her jaw. 3. The entire room is watching. 2. Karen exhales sharply. Fine. The word comes out bitter. Sorry. Judge Judy shakes her head. Not like that. Karen looks toward Harold again. This time, she forces the words out. Mr. Collingwood, I'm sorry for destroying your garden. Her voice is quieter now, less sharp. Harold nods. Thank you. That's all he says. But somehow, it carries more weight than everything before. Judge Judy lifts the gavel. Judgment for the plaintiff. $4,500. Case dismissed. The gavel strikes, a sharp sound, final. Karen turns and walks out. Her earlier confidence gone, replaced with something heavier. The courtroom exhales. Some people clap quietly. Others simply sit in silence. Harold remains seated for a moment. Judge Judy looks at him. You did the right thing, she says. He nods slowly. And in that moment, the case is over, but the lesson stays. Because respect may cost nothing, but the absence of it, that can cost everything.